Hello.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well.
Nice to see you, Miss Birgundi Baker from the Shy. All right. How are you on this Thursday?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm pretty good. I can't complain. Excited to be sitting here talking to you.
Thank you. That's good.
Now, where are you joining us from?
I just got to North Carolina last night.
Oh, okay. So you in the city.
Yes, I'm so happy to be here. It feels so different. Like, I know it's a lot going on, but it just feels different here. Like, California people are just, I feel like we are getting used to it a little bit
Hmm.
more. We're slowly like coming out and trying to like get back to normal in a healthy way.
Right.
But it just feels like California is still a little more like stuck, like where we were when Corona first.
Mm,
North Carolina is a little bit more places are open.
right.
People aren't as like, I don't know. It's just a weird energy. It's so weird. I had to like step away from a second and come home. You know what I mean?
Okay. So how long do you plan on staying?
I'll be here for 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Okay. You got a lot of people to see, a lot of places to go.
Yes, all my family's here. So
Oh, so you're out there by yourself?
in North Carolina,
Oh no. Wait, where'd you come from?
I came from California.
Okay, so are you there by yourself?
Well, my parents are there, but
Okay.
like my friends and my cousins and my aunts and all my family that I hang out with are in North Carolina.
Hmm.
So I'm really
Okay.
glad to be here.
Okay. Did your parents move out there with you?
Yes, they did.
Oh, that's so dope.
Yes.
I love it. Okay. Okay. So, how have your days in California been since COVID began? I know you said it's been different, but how are days there since it is kind of slower there?
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird, especially like I said, like most of the people that I know are here. So even as it's gotten better, I still haven't been able to like be around people because
Hmm.
and my parents there. Um, but it's nice. California's nice. I, I can't complain. There's pros and cons to going everywhere.
Right.
So the weather's nice, but
For people who don't know, I know somebody just commented. You are from North Carolina.
yes, I am.
You're from Raleigh.
Hmm.
Okay, yes, because I don't know if a lot of people knew that. When I posted this interview that it was happening, a lot of people were like, "What? She's from here?" But of course, a lot of Southeast people were under the comments like, "Yes, Southeast." So a lot of love.
I think I'm from Chicago, but no, I'm from North Carolina.
Yes, yes. Okay, so I saw in a recent interview that you have been meditating,
Hmm.
and is that something new because of COVID, or is this something you've always been doing?
Well, prayer, I've always been like big on prayer. That's what I was raised on. And then
Mm-hmm.
I started working. I just needed something to kind of get me focused and get me relaxed. And so I didn't really get heavy with meditation until the shy.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, it's been a way to help me focus.
Now, how was preparing for Keisha this season? Because I know this was a super heavy season for you, especially.
It was a lot. Like I couldn't really like hang out and kiki with the rest of the cast. Like if it
Mm,
was or something I could, but like during work or during lunch, I was working on my stuff. Or I would be in the corner just trying to stay focused, stay in it and read
mm-hmm.
like stories of women who have either been abducted or gone missing. So it was heavy. It was a lot. It was heavy. They had a talk with me in the beginning. One of the coordinators talked to me and was like, "You definitely are going to need something to just kind of help you take care of yourself.
Mm,
Need something at the end of all this to just help you drain yourself out of all the emotion that you have to take yourself through to play Keisha."
right.
It was meditation.
Okay. Now, I always, watching this season and watching you portray this role, my number one question every time I watched was, what is she tapping into to give us this? What is she tapping into?
Oh, girl, it depends on the day. some some days it was so heavy. The story would be so heavy that I didn't really have to think of anything in my own life. Like the scene where because a lot of people had a question like, was she raped? Did he take her and
Mm-hmm.
do things to her, or did he just have her down in the basement? And we finally showed in I think it was episode 8. It was our first time seeing that they were in the bed together, and he
Right.
was her. So we finally answered that question for everybody. That day, that was enough. Just thinking of like this
Yeah.
young girl who had been taken, and then this older man doing this to her against her will, like that was enough for me to just be like, just bawl. My heart really
Mm-hmm.
went out to Kisha and any girl that this has happened to. But some days, when the days were lighter, I did have to tap into my own life and things that have happened to me. It just depends on the day.
Gotcha. Yeah, that I can only imagine. Because you played the hell out of that role. I do want to go ahead and give you your flowers on that. You did amazing this
Thank
season. So super kudos to you on that. Um, Now I do want to know, was this always in the future for Keisha, or was this something that kind of came along as the seasons grew, or maybe when you guys had to do the character change and the casting changes? Like, what was that like, or how did that go?
I had no clue they were going in this direction. What happened was they wanted to get rid of the cops on the show. They said they wanted to make a change and get rid of the cops.
Okay.
And so this is what they said when they called me. We decided to get rid of the cops, and we were thinking if we get rid of the cops, we have to add something that cops don't really care about. And they decided it was
Hmm.
girls.
Wow.
It gave me chills that was you know what I mean? Like that was
Yeah.
like, let's think of something cops don't care about. Okay.
That's real. That's
Yeah.
but it's sad. It's heartbreaking.
It
That's
is heartbreaking. It is heartbreaking. But I was happy that they decided to go in that direction because I mean, let's talk about it. It's
hmm
a real thing.
Yeah.
You have Keisha on this show, so you might as well use her to talk
Right.
about stuff.
Right. Right. Now, being that this is like a huge issue in our community right now, in the world in general, how does it feel to play a role that is bringing such awareness to this issue?
It feels great. I've always wanted to do. I love true stories. I love things that you can't just show for entertainment, but that you can also talk about.
Right.
It's been a dream to be able to stand for something through my work. Yeah.
Okay. What is the being that I know movies and filmmaking, this is a form of art. I know people, we watch it for such entertainment purposes, but this is like a huge art and a way to get a message across to people. So, what is the message that you would want to get across, that you want to get across in general by portraying this role?
We have to take care of our girls. I don't think people realize how many Black girls are missing or how many Black girls have gone missing before.
Mm-hmm.
If you follow the Black and Missing Foundation on Instagram, every day you'll see like 3 new faces.
Mm.
We have to take care of our girls. We have to teach our young girls that this is happening so they can be aware of their surroundings when they go out, when they're together, when they're by themselves. We have to talk about it or else our
Right.
kids won't know. And, like the writer said, the police, they don't care. So the community has to come together and make sure
Right.
our young Black girls. I think that's the most important message.
Right. What did you learn? I know you said you had to do a lot of research for this and you listened to or read a lot of stories and things. So, was there anything new that you learned that really shocked you just by getting prepared for this character?
Yes. Oh my gosh. 2 things. The first thing, and my friend actually helped me doing research with this. The main demographic of people who take young Black girls are Black men. And I don't know why in my mind I was seeing like
Anybody else?
anybody else.
Anybody.
Thank you. Anybody else. I was just seeing something different in my mind. Not our
Right.
men, and that's
Yeah.
and also that just because someone is found, it doesn't mean that like that's it. There's so much healing,
Yeah.
so many things that have to take place after um, someone is found in order for them to get their life back. And
Right.
I'm really excited for season 4 because I'm like, we got so much to talk about. It's not just we found Kisha. Well, who is Kisha now? Because she's not the same person.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
Now, when Keisha, you talked about coming back home and healing. When she came back home, she didn't want to talk to anybody. And for some reason in my soul, I knew that Emmett was gonna be that person. Can we talk about Keisha and Emmett, please? I love it.
But look, everybody wants Kisha and Emmett to be back together. And I'm like, y'all. She knows him as a friend, as you can see. Like, if they
Uh-huh.
together and all that happened and she came back home, who knows? Maybe their relationship drama would have gotten in the way of her opening up that moment. But because they were genuine friends, he would
Yes.
get to touch her heart in a way in that moment, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I love where their relationship is at. I think they make great friends. They really believe
Yeah.
in each other. But relationship, I'm just like, y'all, gotta cut that out.
I do appreciate their friendship. I liked when they were together, in the beginning, even though they went through, rocky periods. But where they are now is amazing. And just the relationship, because like you said, they are genuine friends. Like there's no lying, there's no nothing. It's just like you're the only person who probably knows the truth,
Right,
about who I am.
right.
And I love it. That's why I was like, she gonna talk to Emmett. She will talk to him. And she brought him in that room. I said, yes, I do. Now, when I think another scene that got me, and I feel like that got everybody watching, was when Kisha first broke out and she was finally free.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like she took a moment to kind of just be in awe of everything that was around her, finally be outside, finally, but then she got snatched up again. And that was a crazy scene for my heart.
Girl, I had people in my DMs like, why you ain't run? You I'm like, and they teach us in school, like, always have a reason. Even if you don't really agree with what your character does, come up with something to defend them.
Okay.
Because if you can't defend them, how are you gonna portray them? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm like, well, she couldn't believe she broke out. You know,
Right.
she hadn't smelt the grass, she hadn't seen outside, she hadn't heard those sounds in weeks. Her body probably went in shock, like, okay,
I'm here.
I'm
Right.
what direction do I run in?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But yeah, she should have ran.
I was like, girl, just run. We can acknowledge the outside later. Let's just keep it moving. So that was a crazy scene. Me and my boyfriend were sitting there like, what is happening? Come on. Like, oh my goodness. Okay. That I had to bring that up. I needed to hear your side of. Now, another thing that I thought was quite interesting was, after she came back, she's talking to Kev, and he mentioned her clothes that she was wearing the day that she was taken.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, she went and burned all her clothes.
Mm-hmm.
This is a conversation that I feel like happens all the time. Women and what they wear,
Yeah.
and the results and the reactions that this can bring.
Yeah.
Explain this to me as to why she burned her clothes.
Well, like I said, after someone is found, that's the beginning of a whole new journey. Like, they have to heal and,
Mm-hmm.
come to a place where um, they can try to be themselves again. But a lot of times people never return to being themselves because they're trying to figure out, where did I go wrong? How is this my fault? If it is,
Right.
how is it my fault? How could I have prevented this? And I think that Kevin bringing that up, I think the whole time she's wondering, like, where did I go wrong? Why me? Why did he take me? And I think when Kevin brought it up, it was kind of like he put it in her mind that
Mm-hmm.
maybe it was you because of the way you dress. And
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times we search for reasons, and if we can't come up with something, we just accept the reasons that people put on us. And he put that on Kisha.
Right.
Um, I don't think that the mom makes a comment in the scene. She says, I don't care if you were running down the street butt naked.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody has the right to put their hands on you. And I completely agree with that. But
Right.
as somebody who's been through so much and is trying to find themselves again, I understand why she did it. I wish that she didn't think she had to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I wish that Kevin would have never said that. I wish that women all over the world can wear whatever they want to wear.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But she's lost and she's looking for answers as to why this happened to her. And I think that in order to take back control, sometimes we just do whatever. We just do whatever we think might give us our control back. And so she
Right.
closed. Yeah.
Rent the clothes. Now, she also, we find out in the end that Keisha's now pregnant.
Yeah.
Why do you think it was such a hard decision to figure out what she wanted to do?
Okay. Well, on one side, of course, because she's pregnant by her abductor.
Of course. So we would think that it would be like obvious choice, but it
Right.
wasn't.
Right. But, and go with me here because it's another one of those things where I had to find a reason to defend Keisha. You know what I mean? And to me, I think all these things happening to her were against her will. She didn't have a choice. She didn't have a say so. She didn't have a choice in getting taken. She didn't have a choice in being raped, any of that. But with this, she has a choice. And it's
Okay.
like, well, I have a choice. Let me think about what I want to do. I haven't had the choice to do anything with my body or with myself in a long time. So let me take advantage of the fact that this is my choice.
Right.
Also, reading, doing my research, a lot of women who go in to get abortions, if they take a lot of time or see the ultrasound, it sparks something, and they see that there's this thing creating in them that's connected to them. And a lot of women change their minds.
Oh,
And
wow.
when Keisha went in there, you never know what the counselors and the nurses show you or say to you. I was watching a movie where a girl went in for an abortion, and I apologize if this is a sensitive topic to anyone, so I'll make it brief. She went in, and the nurse said to her, "You know, your baby already has fingernails."
Oh, no.
Broke down. She it was just it changed
Yeah, I can imagine.
her. So, we don't know what happened to Keisha in that room, what she may have heard or what she may have discovered that would have changed her heart. We'll find out season 4 exactly. And last thing, she made a comment when she was talking to her mom at the doctor's office, and she said, "What if someone aborted Ronnie? Then what would have happened to me?" So I also think she's thinking of the possibility of this could be a new start for me. I could bring someone into this world who could be a hero. So, and like I said, after all these things happen to women, it's normal for you to try to gain control over your life. So,
Right.
thinking I could start a new life, I could have purpose, I could be a mother. I'm not going to college because they took my tuition away.
Right.
So, maybe I can be the best mom I can be. I don't,
Yeah.
it's just a lot. It's just a lot. And now I don't know how they're going to get Keisha through this, but it's a lot.
I love that you're so attached to this character. I mean, you're playing it, so I guess you should be. But I love just, yes, like everything about you and what you bring to the character, and even just sitting here listening to you talk about it. It's amazing. I love it,
Thanks.
100%. You're welcome. Now, what would you think that your takeaway from this character is with all 3 seasons so far? What have you learned? What have you gained? What is your takeaway?
A lot of the things that I learned about Black women being taken by Black men, most of them not returning. When they do return, depression and the journey of healing. I didn't know any of that. I was, and we're talking about young Black women. We're talking about us. We're talking
Right.
about our community and
Right.
I didn't know any of that. So I think that art and entertainment right now, because the world is at such a crazy state, I think as artists and as people with platforms, if we can use our art to get more messages and more news out there, not just for, you can always throw some entertainment in there. It's
Right.
always, you know what I mean? But the Shy has really taught me, I personally think that if you have the gift of being able to tell a story, whether it be writing or producing or acting, teach people about what's going on in the world and stand up for your community, because everybody watches TV. Everybody's listening to music. So it's just a great way to just help our community and save our community. And after this, I don't know what I'm going to work on, but I'm like, I hope it's something that I can talk about. You know what I mean? Something people, because it just completely like opened up my view on what art and entertainment can, you know?
Right. The importance of it. Yeah. Do you plan on going into like directing or producing or writing?
Yes,
Yes.
I want to direct. I'm working on a short film right now. It's been so hard
Ooh.
with COVID, but yeah, I want to do all of that.
I love it.
Yeah,
The short film that you're working on, can you give us any information about it?
all Grace, and it's about a young girl who's turning into a woman, but she doesn't have a mom, so she's
Mm,
trying to find her journey into womanhood on her own, basically.
okay.
And you know how that is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Figure out your place in the world as a
Hmm.
young Black girl, and then not having a mom to show you the ropes.
Hmm.
So I hope that can come out soon. Got my fingers crossed.
Yes. Are you in it? Are you playing in it, or you just wrote it?
I wrote it and I want to play in it. I'm so torn because I know how it feels to like look for opportunity.
Yes.
Like, oh, if somebody could just pick me, if somebody could just. So I want to give that girl a chance, but I also want to do
Okay.
it myself because I would do exactly how I want it to be done. You know what I
Right.
mean?
The vision.
Right.
Yes.
So I don't know.
I love it. Now, I want to go back to the way beginning. Like we said, you are from Raleigh, North Carolina. Um, I know acting is one of those things where there's no set path.
Hmm.
You know, it's just, I guess you're feeling your way through type of thing. So, what has been your path going from Raleigh, North Carolina to one of the biggest hit shows on television right now?
It's been a journey. Like I said, that just like somebody just pick me, just give me a chance. You know what I mean? For a long time, it was that. It was just like looking for auditions, looking for an agent. I was doing plays and taking class all my life while I was here in North
Hmm.
Carolina, and then I decided to go to school for it because I had an aunt who went to school for acting, and she ended up doing very well. So I said, okay, I'm gonna go get my education, and I went to Howard and studied theater.
Okay.
But I also wanted to do TV, and there's not a lot of TV in DC.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was telling me to go to New York or LA, but I knew I wasn't ready. I
Hmm.
knew I wasn't ready. Too big, too many people, too much competition. I just wasn't ready.
Right.
And so someone told me, go to Chicago. It's kind of like a small New York. They
Hmm.
have theater and TV, and a lot of actors are moving to Chicago. So I was like, okay, I don't have nowhere else to go.
Right.
I tried it. I stayed for like a month and I went to go see theater. I mean, you could go downtown and it's a place called Sin Space. You can go to drive past Sin Space and you can see movies being shot.
Oh, wow.
Like, okay, it's not too big like New York, not too many people, but
Mm-hmm.
I can see the art happening.
Right.
So I stayed. I got an agent. My first audition was Empire. I had one line. And so
But I know that was still exciting.
it was exciting. It was
Yeah.
good because I got to watch.
Okay.
I got to just say my one line and then go back
Uh-huh.
to watch the real
Right.
um do their thing. Um, and then after Empire, it just Chicago was so welcoming. They have all these shows: Chicago PD, Chicago Med, Chicago Fire, and they would use the same people. I did
Oh,
all
wow.
those, and they were just using the same. So did all those, and then the Shy came in, the audition for the Shy.
Hmm.
I was like, oh, I gotta do this. I gotta do this. And so I auditioned for Jerica. I don't know if you remember season 1 and season 2, but she was Brandon's girlfriend.
Yes.
And I didn't get it. And I was like, damn, okay. Then Kisha came in and I was like, okay, I'm glad I didn't get Jerica because Kisha was younger,
Uh-huh.
like she was a little more bubbly than Jerica.
Hmm.
And I just feel like that fit me more. So I got with the acting coach the night before the audition and we worked on it. And I went in for it the next day and I got it. And it
Did you
got,
find out right on the spot that you got it?
no, it was like maybe 3 or 4 days later.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Quick turnaround.
yeah, it was quick. And I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna go in there. When I got it, I only got 2 episodes. They said, we're gonna give you 2 episodes,
Hmm.
episode 1 and episode 2. I was like, okay, but I'm gonna be a series regular. I did not become a series regular season 1. I did not become a series regular season 2. And that's that thing of just like the journey, just
Mm-hmm.
waiting and just being like, okay, I'm gonna be happy with what you give me and I'm gonna do my best with what you give me. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad that I stuck with it, because sometimes I wanted to be like, y'all want to, do y'all gonna let me in character or no? Because I'm tired of popping in and popping out. You know what I mean?
But you
So
couldn't tell me that you like me watching as a watcher. You couldn't tell me that you weren't like a regular person on the show. Like I wouldn't have known that if you didn't tell me that you weren't like categorized as that. Because as far
yeah,
as I'm concerned, you was from the first episode until now. Like I've seen you the whole time. You've always been had like a storyline, even down to you and Emmett, like we said, and then you were dating the track. What was the track coach,
right.
and so you've been consistent the whole time.
I mean, yeah, thank you. Thank you. It's just, we naturally compare ourselves to other people. And when I
Mm-hmm.
was, other people got 5 pages of words and I got a half a page, I'm like,
Mm. I see. I can understand.
but I'm glad I waited. I'm glad.
Yeah.
I feel like it was worth it. It was worth it. But it got to the point, like I was saying, Chicago just will use you for the same shows over and over. And it got to the point where I'm like, I'm gonna get stuck if I don't leave.
Mm.
So that's when I went to California.
Okay. Wait, so you live in California, but you got the Shy in Chicago. So what
Mhm.
made you move to California if you got the part?
Because I knew that my career wasn't gonna just stop at the Shy.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, Chicago will use the same people over and over for all of they have like those shows, Chicago Med, Chicago Fire, Chicago.
Right.
And I didn't want to just be there doing those shows
Gotcha.
over. I wanted more opportunities,
Gotcha.
and to compete at a different level. So,
Gotcha. So for anybody who is trying to find their way in this whole field, I've always wondered, do you need an agent? I know some people do it on their own or they're trying to do it on their own. How important is it to get like an agent or management?
I mean, it could be done on your own. If you have some sort of connections, it makes it easier. But I always tell people get an agent, because
Okay.
you have people speaking for you and going in rooms that you can't go in,
Mm,
that know the
makes
business and can teach you about the business, and people that know where the auditions are, because they
right.
put the good auditions out on websites and social media and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just saves time. Like, instead of looking for auditions and trying to get in the room to talk to people, you could be working on your craft and have somebody else doing that for you.
Right. True.
So I'm an advocate for an agent.
Okay. Now, how many auditions would you say you've been on?
I can't even count. I've lost count. I have. There are days that I've gone on like 4 auditions in one day.
Wow. And how many of them hit?
Go what you see.
Because
The
I know I saw you on Chicago. I saw you on Black Lightning. You know,
Mhm.
that's how I knew it was getting serious when you started popping up on shows that I watch. I was like, wait a minute now. Okay, this is getting real. And then, you became a main on the Shy. So I was like, this is dope. You
Yeah.
out here doing the thing.
Thank you.
You are very welcome. Now, I do want to ask you what.
I don't know. I couldn't even give you a number. I couldn't even give you a number. Some of them in person, some of them on tape. I've lost count. It's like been a journey to the maintenance.
when did it start to feel real to you? Like, yes, this is working.
I would say the Shy. I would say season two.
Hmm.
I would say season two. It started to feel real because I started kind of getting somewhat of a story, like with the track coach.
Right.
When the track coach came on, it was like, okay, Keisha's getting a little bit of shine.
Hmm.
Um, I would say season two.
Okay. Okay. Now, I'm
Yeah.
not going to keep you too much longer, but I do want to ask you, what is your definition of success and happiness?
Mm, that's a good question. My definition of success. Mm, that's a good one. I, um, if you make a goal and you work towards it and you achieve that goal, I think that's success, whatever that goal may be, whether it be how much screen time you get or financially or anything. I think if you set a goal and you achieve that goal, that is success. Um, I think happiness is doing what you love to do. Um, I think happiness is accepting where you're at,
Hmm.
because sometimes we're not happy because we want more or we want to get to this or we want to get to that. And
Right.
that may not be for us. You know,
Right.
like I said, I was doing the Shy season 1 and season 2, and I wanted more, but it wasn't my time yet, you know. But I
Mm-hmm.
appreciative of the exposure that I was getting and everything I was learning. I can't even imagine if I'm sorry. Now I'm just realizing if I had become a series regular before, there are so many things that I probably would have messed up on because
Hmm.
I hadn't watched long enough. I hadn't watched the other series regulars long enough. But I think happiness is accepting where you're at and doing what you love and surrounding yourself with people who are doing the same thing, because that's a whole nother thing. If you're not surrounding yourself with people that are like minded and that are going for their goals, they can bring you down,
Right.
you know. Um, yeah.
Okay. Now, anything currently that you're working on? Anything coming up?
Oh my goodness, I did a film called The Last Shift,
Okay.
and it will be out September 25th.
Okay.
It will be on Hulu, and so if y'all could watch that, and I think select theaters too. When I find out what theaters, I'm definitely gonna post. But
Okay.
The Last Shift, September 25th, and
So,
we got a season 4 of The Shy, so that's
yeah.
yeah.
Now, do we know anything about season 4 yet, or we still working on it?
I'm itching because I'm like, I need to know, know what's going on, but we don't know anything yet. I think COVID
Okay.
like slowing everything down, but we don't know anything. We just know we coming back.
Yes, and congratulations on that.
Thank you so
You
much.
are welcome. All right, well, I'm gonna go ahead and let you go. I know you got a lot of stuff going on today, but I thank you for talking to me. I thank you for taking time out of your day. And girl, I love the show. So just being able to talk to you was amazing. So I
Thank
appreciate you so much.
I appreciate you and giving me this platform to speak, and many, many more blessings to you.
Thank you. Same to you. You have a good rest of your day.